it. It's really, really bright.
Well, you know what? Log out and log back in. I bet you it changed.
And it changes? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Because I can't see you in that color. It's really hard to read.
You know what's weird? It's like
why does Twitch do that?
my name changes and I see other people's names, but like Kane always stays the same to me. And then
Maybe because he's a mod?
maybe. But Lori always stays the same.
Yeah.
Even in the other channels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Jen is always the same color too to me.
Oh, that's funny.
And I think Svensson's you generally the same color, and Midnight.
Because Rem is like when I just logged in right now, his color was like that really bright monk green color. And it's so hard for me to read the name. I mean, I kind of know it's you, but it's like my brain is going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like you need to chat with me in the chat room.
No. Gee, I wonder if I would.
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny if I did.
Yeah.
Squeak.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to your Saturday night edition of Triple T.
Triple T. All is well. Garrus is here.
What?
Garrus is here. All is well.
That's cool.
Is that true? If you change your color, it stays that way permanently?
Oh, really?
Then I'm gonna make myself a red because I like red.
Kane, I don't have mod powers yet, so
neither does he.
Maybe they'll come.
Let's hope so. I don't want this to repeat from last time. Close already, stupid chat thing.
Oh, come on, Lori. I didn't do that on purpose.
Did you really puke?
Yeah.
You really did? I didn't know this.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. Lori had to ruin it.
Ram.
What?
What did you drink that made you puke?
Told you it was a shot of 151.
Oh, it was 151 that made you yak?
Yeah, I was sitting there for like 5 minutes. I was pissed off because it was hurt. Because, you do let it 150 was sucks. And I was just mad because it hurt my throat and it hurt me. I couldn't breathe. I was pissed. And then Fit told me today, he's like, I thought you were going to quit the show right then and there. I was so angry. I was so mad. Then I started getting sweaty and stuff. I'm like, I got to go. I got to go. So I grabbed my Captain America bucket and walked to the other end of the basement.
And you yacked in the basement.
And it just all yacked. And poor Fitz here doesn't know what to do. He's like mixing our scorpion bowl.
Oh, God. So tell me, okay, I didn't see the show last night. So did you do this right up front?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, God.
We do a shot, to start off the evening.
Whose idea was to do 151?
Probably mine or Hulhauser.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And Hule's like, hey, that's a great idea, you guys. I don't have any 151, but you guys should wait till the podcast starts to do that shot, because
oh, gosh.
Because he knows what's going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, I got up and Fitz here. He's like, I was just listening to it now. I just published it. Fitz mixing the scorpion bowl. He doesn't know how to keep the show. He's doing his best. And Jen's like mixing. They're just mixing the thing. And then Hule's like, hey, what's Rem doing? Is he okay?
He's yakking in the corner.
I came back and we rallied and I drank the hell out of that scorpion bowl and we had a good time.
Oh my gosh! So you yacked, and then you were able to do an entire podcast after you yacked.
I'm a pro.
That is insane.
Why aren't we recording this?
Oh, I know, right? That's stupid. Okay, ready?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Recording now. No, mine.
I'm recording.
No, I'm recording.
I need a few seconds of silence here so I can remove the air conditioning. I mean, you can talk. I'm not recording you.
I will just leave you at silence because I don't want to upset you.
You don't upset me.
Yak on me.
I'm pissed off.
You might yak on me or something. Where did that even come from? The term yak, when it talks about puking and puking. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Vomiting.
Yeah. Vomit.
Yak come from?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the sound you make.
Some hippie in the 60s just like, hey man, that dude's yakking.
Somebody hippie in the 60s.
Yeah.
That dude is yakking all over the place.
Why is it your fault, Lori? What'd you do? You didn't do it.
Did she encourage it?
No, this was decided before we started.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of us idiots said, let's do a shot of 151. No, I can't tonight. Southard. I can't because I got it set up one way. So it's kind of late. We'll do a call-in show soon.
Yeah, call-in shows are a little bit of a different setup for us, so we'll do that another time because it's not going to work out tonight. So, so you're writing something down already, are you?
I'm writing my intro.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
We haven't given you yet a show title. I was like, wait, what did we do? Where does yak come from?
We'll have to talk. Yeah. You can bring that up later because I have to promote. I have to
mention.
I have to mention that Liquor Fueled came out.
Okay. Well, we could talk about that. So for you guys in the chat room, since you are our biggest fans and our most dedicated, this show is probably going to be a little shorter because we are really, really dry on questions. So if you guys have questions that you've been kind of kicking around that you want to ask, please send them our way, please, because we don't really have anything. We've gotten a couple lately that have repeated topics that we've done in the past, and we try not to do that. So, yeah. So this is going to be more of we have a really good discussion topic tonight. Both of us are pretty excited about this.
This is Rem pissed off and complaining about things.
And Rem is going to be pissed off and complaining. Wait, that's today and every day. Gamergate. No, Cal, we are not talking about Gamergate. No.
Yeah, I'm a white cisgendered male. I'm not allowed to talk about Gamergate. I'm not allowed to have an opinion. So, yeah.
Sorry, Chief Fulgen. No links at the moment. We were asked to change that so that we wouldn't get any spam links in here. I don't think we have anybody here that can mod it yet.
Did you change something in the modding when you changed
No.
No?
I didn't.
Weird.
I just changed what I did is I changed it so that no links could come through.
Yeah.
Kane asked me to do that last week because there were some spam links that came through that he caught.
Huh.
So only people 2020 site, I adore you for using cisgendered in a sentence. Way to go.
All right.
So
thank you. I'm sorry. I feel like I have to apologize now.
No, 2020 is giving you props for that. That's a good word. I don't want to talk about Gamergate. I really don't. It's just it just adds to this horrid
Here's what
thing.
I want to talk about. Why do we have to freaking add gate to everything when there's a drama? Why does everything have to be gate?
Well, it's just because this whole
No. I don't care about Gamergate. I care about why we're using gate. Watergate, Whitewater Gate. I mean, there's a Watergate Hotel, right?
Well, the Watergate Hotel. That's
Obama
why it started.
Gate, Florida Gate, Casey Anthony Gate.
Well, it started because of the Watergate.
I know, but
scandal.
why do we have to put gate after everything? Why is it Rem Gate? Why does that? Why can't we just say the controversy surrounding gamers?
Remgate.
And that might happen after what I'm released tonight.
So since there are no mods tonight, you guys are going to have to chase out all the jerks in the chat room if they show up again. It's your job until we get some mods.
It's very silly, 20.
It is really silly, though. I had actually never thought of it until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be gate.
Yeah. But, the reason why we're not going to talk about the whole Gamergate thing is because that's not the environment that we want to have, in our the way we do this. It's some of the worst stuff that's happening out there, and I don't want to give it any more publicity for it. Because I think it'll just go away if we leave it alone for long enough. Because some of that is so horrible. I can't even talk about it.
Rihanna and Chris Brown Gate.
No, just Chris Brown is a dick. That's it. Oh shit, that was recorded too. Don't use that. It's Christina Applegate. Oh, it's okay, Cal. You don't have to apologize for bringing it up. If it's something that we get a question about where someone wants to talk about it, then we'll consider it, but I'm not going to bring it up as a topic of the show. Mainly because we're just here for we're here for you guys. This is about us as WoW players. So, and gamers in general, and we treat everybody the same. Men, women, even those cisgendered males.
I know, a bunch of assholes.
All
right.
So.
All right, where are we? You ready to start?
Yeah, I think so. We're all's good. Garrus is here. He's by my legs, down by my feet. So all is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready to go?
Masha!
Yeah, you are.
I am. All right, ready?
I'm ready. Let's. Oh wait, you have to do your ritual. Do your ritual.
Oh, I started. Oh, my tonsils hurt, Jules. This is gonna be tough.
Oh man, we're gonna do an hour and a half show with a tonsil pain.
We're gonna do 45 minutes.
No, we're not.
All right. All right, ready?
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
I know we don't usually get serious on this show, but I thought this was a very important message. I got a PSA coming from the internet that I think everybody who listens to this show should hear. So I'm going to play it right up front, and we can talk about it after. All right, is that okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mark Conan, and I'm here today to tell you about a serious medical condition. Every day in social media, we see self-portraits of our friends and loved ones. We all know them as selfies, and these are perfectly normal, provided you're not operating heavy machinery while taking them. But a variation has been circulating, and I'd like to bring them and their consequences to your attention. It is known in the scientific community as facium annatus, or more commonly, duckface. The rise in duckface selfies is due to the #YOLO lifestyle and has serious medical consequences, such as muscle fatigue in the arms and lips, and in rare instances, permanent duckface. That's why we here at the Anti-Duckface and #YOLO Foundation believe that you can adequately show off your self-expression and personal beauty without resorting to pursing your lips. Our mission at the ADF #YOLOF is to combat the rising tide of duckface selfies on the internet through education, communication, and mild torture. With your help, we can bring awareness to the pursed-lipped masses. The ADF #YOLOF is here to help you and your loved ones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go online to www.adf#YOLOF.com or call toll-free at 1-800-NOMO-YOLO. That's 1-800-NOMOYOLO.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
I totally had to rearrange everything just so I could watch Jules. And if you weren't here watching, I don't know how you did that without making any noise.
I muted my microphone.
What? What? Why would you mute?
Oh, it's on the recording. You'll hear me laughing.
Good.
But I had to mute it on Skype.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 114 of Tauren Think Tank. It is September 6th of 2014. It is 10:06 in the PM on the East Coast. I am Rem, and I am a duckface selfie survivor. It's hard to admit, it's hard to talk about, but I'm going to tell my story at some point. That is Jules. And Jules, how are you doing? How are you? Are you okay?
The whole chat room was telling me to breathe.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard. You totally got me on that one, dude. I didn't even know. He didn't tell me this was coming. He didn't tell me what the intro was. Mark Conan nailed that. Holy crap.
Yes, Mark Conan did. Mark Conan did an amazing job. He said, "Hey, do you want something tonight?" And I said, "Yeah." He's okay. And he's like, "You got mail." I'm like, "All right. Yeah, it's fantastic." Yeah, Mark Conan did great. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but these things take time. So that's all him. I had actually nothing to do with it. So
he wrote that whole thing?
Yeah, he did the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. And if you aren't familiar with a couple of episodes back of the the YOLO duckface selfie challenge that cropped up on Twitter between me and Rem and TJ Spanks and Noodles. Oh my gosh.
The best
that
part
just made my entire week.
The best part of that thing was learning that Jules she has no ability to make a duck face.
I cannot. I literally don't have, I guess I don't have the facial muscles to get my face to look like that.
It's really just making a kissy face, Jules.
But it just doesn't look right on me.
It doesn't look right on anybody.
Well, but I guess my lips don't protrude that way.
Yes.
See, your lips do.
I got big lips. I got big.
He's doing that on the. You'll have to watch the stream for that. But mine is like this.
You're trying too hard. That's the problem.
I can't do it.
You're trying.
I'm not trying.
You just got to do it.
I just did it.
Just like Nike says, just do it, man. Don't think
You'll have to watch the stream for this, guys.
Yeah. You can watch us on YouTube. What's our YouTube channel?
It's actually on my YouTube channel. You can look it under Jules Scott and find it on there. And just look under Tauren Think Tank. It's up there.
They look good. We've got the whole background going on. Jules has been uploading them. Yeah, it's fantastic. So we're back for episode 114. Remember, call 1-800-NO-MO-YOLO.
No-mo-YOLO. Wow, I have to listen to that again because I was laughing so hard I missed about half of it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I just love it when you guys surprise this kind of stuff. I absolutely love it, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And now that my nose is running, I'm going to have to
That's cool. Blow your nose.
Almost crying.
That's cool. We'll watch.
Oh, it's funny.
There you go. Jules, what's going on with you?
Yeah, doing really good. It's been a crazy busy week. My job is kind of insane right now because we're prepping for this trade show. The team goes to Las Vegas on September 18th, and it is crazy busy as it always is twice a year. So between that and then everything else kind of going on the outside, we're planning. I don't think I mentioned this on the show yet, but I know I mentioned that we're planning for the big BlizzCon party that we're having for the Signals Media All-Star Network. We're at Signals Media
All-Star Party. Come join the fun with Jules, Scott, and Pat Crane.
And a whole lot of other people.
And everybody else from CTR. There's like 72,050 people coming. Drinks on the house.
No! Oh, no. You guys have to pay.
Everybody gets a free gift.
Oh, okay, you're not allowed to plan the party anymore.
All right.
So I've been like hella busy with that. And the cool thing though, is that I have been put in charge of trying to raise the funds for this whole thing for the party. And so I have, we hired someone to help us with that. And the party is going to be on the Friday night of BlizzCon, which I think is the 7th. I believe it's the 7th. It's the Friday night. It's in the Hilton. But then we're also going to be putting together this store of product for things from the Signals Media Network. All the different shows are going to have T-shirts and different things like coffee mugs. And we'll have some cool things that, you could get from some of the podcasters. And so we're working on all of that to get that done because that's going to help us raise money for this as well. And so I have just been every single day. It's just like, I have so much to do. It just feels like I have so much to do. And then on top of all that, it's like now that the expansion has been announced and people are starting to come back to the game because people are really starting to come back to the game, like somebody else we might know in this Skype call, maybe someone.
Rose here?
Well, yeah, Rose here, but he's not on the call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll get to that later. So we're doing, because we have all of these people that are coming back, our workload is picking up for all of my greeters. Mm-hmm. And I needed more greeters, so I've been hiring more greeters.
How many greeters do you have?
On average, I have about 25.
Wow, close, okay.
And so what happens is, though, people come in, and they're pretty excited about the job, and a lot of them are awesome and have a great time, and they do a good job with it. And there are some that come in, and they come in, and it's really not the right fit for them. Like, it's a little bit of a boring job. You're asked to sit in a channel and watch to see if someone wants an invite, and you're asked to do that for several hours a week. And so for some, it's just not the thing that they want to be doing with their time, and so they kind of drift away. And then I've got to find people to replace them once I kind of determine that they're not doing any, talk to them, doing the invites, that kind of thing. And so I have to continually kind of keep the door rotating in and out because real life comes into play. People's interest in the game drifts in and out. So I brought in, I think, 7 new ones this week.
Wow.
But the problem is that it's not just literally coming in and saying, okay, you're hired. Mm-mm. Because we have to make sure that, one, they're a good fit for someone to talk to you. Like, they're not going to just talk in all elite speak and just be like,
sup, bro?
Sup, yo, YOLO.
You want to join my guild?
You want to join guild? Okay, yo.
I need a partner for 3s, yo.
So I have to do that. And then we have to show them how the database works because we have a brand new database now.
Crap.
So they have to learn how to use that. In order to do that, they have to get their forum credentials changed. So I have to make sure that gets done.
It's like
once they've passed that process, then they have to let me know all their characters, and they have to have at least more than 5 so that they can go into all the different co-guilds, and they got to get themselves moved. And so then I have to go online and get someone to promote them to the right rank. It is a lot of work, Rem.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
I don't call it terrible. I just call it busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I volunteer to do this. I don't mind doing it. I actually enjoy doing it because it helps the guild. But one of the things that I find every time I hire, quote unquote, new graders, is that they say to me, I had no idea how much goes into this to make this go. And you're like, well, yeah, that's good. That means that we don't broadcast that to the entire world to tell them, do you know how much work goes into this? Do you know how much time we spend doing this?
I hope you and Pat do a podcast where you talk about that and use that voice.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Do you guys know what we do for you?
Do you know how much time I take for you every week?
The sacrifices we make so you can have a good place to play.
I walk uphill both miles, 50 miles, both directions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You should charge everybody $1 a month.
Dude.
What? Set up a Patreon.
A Patreon. Oh, God.
For your guild. $1 a month. Oh, my God. That'd be awesome.
Well, and it is just about large guilds and how to run them and all that thing. It's just one of the things that people don't always realize is that this large guild, the CTR guild, has departments. We have department heads.
Holy God, really?
We do.
What are the departments called?
We have the raid liaisons.
Department of Raid Liaisons.
Department of Raid Liaisons.
Yeah.
We have the event planners.
So you have to start everything with Department of.
Okay. We have the Department of Event Planners. We have the Department of the Welcome Committee, which is fine. We have the Department of the Bankers.
What?
We have the Department of the Communications Team.
Oh, my God.
And we have the Department of the Iron Council, which is the 4 of us that help run the guild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
The CTR Department of the Dark Arts, as Kane just said. Wow. I probably forgot something. Plus, we have IT people, too. We have IT people that do all the forums and the databases and all that stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's intense. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this.
Yeah. That's intense, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It's a lot of work. But, for all the work that it takes, I love that we have this. I love that we have a place that people love to come to be able to raid and find a team, and people enjoy that time and they're excited. And yeah, it's just, there are a lot of things that go into making it. And so, and a lot of people spend a lot of their free time to do that. So that's what I've been doing. And then when I do have a couple of moments of free time, I've been working on my druid on Earthen Ring with AIE.
In another guild.
In another guild. Sometimes everybody needs a break.
I'm sorry. It's perfect. I totally understand, but it's just funny. All the work you do for CTR, you don't even play in CTR.
Well, no, I do.
I know. I understand. You need a break.
And I'll clarify this because I think that there's people are like, why are you doing that? I have a lot of friends who are in AIE. I met a lot of people, especially at Nerdtacular this year. A lot of the officers, I spent a lot of time with those folks, and they're great people. And so it was a lot of fun to just hang out with them. And so my goal is to get a character that's up on top level on both sides of the faction, so that if I ever do get asked to raid on a horde side, I could just pop in and do a raid or two here or there. So it's just a nice thing for variety. And it is nice for me to go in and just play, and only people who are on my battle tag can find me if I'm on. It gives me a little bit of a breather because I do a lot of other stuff. So
AIE Gravitas.
I'm in Audacia.
I know.
Audacia.
I like saying Gravitas.
Gravitas.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on with me. I've talked way too long.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with you?
Nothing.
Nothing? No?
Just chilling, man. Just chilling. I found what cures the itch that I was talking about last week.
Cream?
Yeah. Actually, yes.
Ointment?
Ointment. It's called logging back into WoW. Woo!
Who the hell named that ointment?
I know, it's a terrible name, but it actually does a really good job. It's pretty expensive. $15 every month.
Jeez, your insurance plan doesn't cover that crap.
No, it's a cosmetic, so insurance doesn't cover it. But yeah, I logged back in, man. I scratched the itch, and I went back in, and I hopped on, and I said, hey everybody, look who's back. And I said hi to the guild, and everybody seemed excited to see me again. That was nice.
Did they say, come and knock on my door?
No, nobody did that.
I'll be waiting for you.
Well, somebody did that.
Who?
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Thank you for the yes and, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, and Lori just won the chat room because she said that the cure for your ailment is Blizzadryl.
Blizzadryl?
That's excellent. I love that.
That's good. Blizzadryl.
That's really funny.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, really. Blizzadryl.
Drill. Okay. Yeah, so I logged in. And then Resto, my buddy Resto Shield was so excited because he's been bugging me. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to need a leveling partner in Warlords. I'm like, all right, leave me alone. But Resto was happy to see me. Resto got onto his monk tank at level 46. I hopped onto my Goblin Hunter, who I actually haven't played my Goblin Hunter in over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did a dungeon. I got to level 46 on my Goblin Hunter. I hit a level. That was exciting. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what buttons to press anymore because I haven't played this thing in a year. So that was fun. And then I didn't realize that I had no idea my rogue was at level 89.
You've been sitting at level 89 and didn't go all the way?
Apparently, Fit and I had gone out to the Timeless Isle. He was reminding me of this. So I had power leveled to 88 with Huel on the Timeless Isle, and then Fit power leveled me to 89 on the Timeless Isle. I forgot about it. I thought he was still at 86.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, hey guys, who wants to power level me? So we did that for half an hour, and boy, it goes slow. But I was skinning, and I achieved max level skinning on my rogue.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah. So that's 2 accomplishments in one night. That was fun. When we were running dungeons, Resto says, I would do Mumble, but they're having a raid team meeting, so I can't get on Mumble. I have to do the raid team meeting. And I'm like, oh, that's fine, no problem.
Yeah.
And then Alanu saw me in chat. He's like, hey, Rem, you should join us in Mumble. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're in Mumble. They're having a raid team meeting about what they're going to do next in Warlords, which was cool. It's like, and Alanu's like, so Rem, what are your plans? Like, I don't know what my plans are yet when it comes to raiding, but we'll figure them out as we go. And since everything's flex, it really does. But here's what's funny, Jules. And this, I guess, says a lot about me and what a terrible person I am, is that, I used to be the raid leader and used to be an officer in this guild.
Yeah.
I haven't been around for a couple months. I immediately started giving my input on everything, then realized what I was doing and had to stop myself.
Oh.
Right?
Because, yeah, there might be some folks who would be like, dude, you haven't been here for 6 months. How can you say anything about this at all?
It hasn't been 6 months, but maybe 4 months. But it was I had to stop myself because I'm just so used to being in that mode. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't have basically I stepped down from raid leading. Alanu raid leaded for 2 weeks, and then I was off the team. So I never adjusted into not being raid leader, not being an officer. I kind of just stepped off the team and then it kind of stopped. Right? So I jumped right back in. I kind of think I'm back in that mode. But they were wrong. They were getting facts wrong. They thought that normal and heroic raiding in Warlords is going to be 10 to 20 flex. But it's 10 to 25, possibly 30 flex. So I had to tell them. And then I had to give ideas and what to do. And then Alana's like, Rem, we just mentioned that. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So
Oh, way to go, Rem.
yeah. So I'm back to being annoying and
I'm back to being annoying again.
yeah. But it's nice.
Who's
But
that?
it was a joy actually to be back and on Mumble and talking with all my friends.
Mhm.
I missed them. I missed them a lot, and it was. I mean, I had a big smile on my face while I was playing. And we talked about last week how I wasn't enjoying anything in the game. There was nothing for me to do. There's nothing I wanted to do, and it was just like it was a chore logging on.
Yeah.
I haven't had a big smile on my face while playing WoW in a long, long time.
That's good to have it back.
Yeah, it was. Chief Vol'jin's pushing a snail towards me. Thanks, jerk.
Snail trail.
Oh, come on, Jules. It's gross. But I had a big smile, and I really enjoyed my time in there. Now I haven't played since because I've been, it's a weekend. I've been busy, but I'll be back in next week. Apparently, I'm raiding next Thursday.
Oh, really? Already?
Already, I got to do some dungeons to remember how to tank, but they're doing heroic Narushan and getting a garage kill. So it's kind of like Rem, we need you because Trey's out. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. Time to go learn how to tank again.
I'll be there. So, yeah.
And now the Welcome Back Cotter theme is going through my head.
Mhm.
Welcome back.
I'm glad Marconan's here because I got a whole bunch of ideas and he's getting ideas and he's already texting me.
Oh my gosh. You and Marconan have the most awesome creative mojo. And I just love it. Anything you guys do together is fabulous.
I need to stop playing WoW again so I can talk to Marconan about ideas. Yeah.
Well, he can just text you all day long while you're walking your route.
Cal1699 in chat room says, how did I not know you tank? Cal, I am an amazing, awesome tank with huge amounts of stamina. I hashtag badass tank. If you go back and listen to some older episodes, you'll understand what that means.
But for the longest time, Rem was DPSing, so you can't be too upset about that.
Well, switching the tank was part of my, getting kind of complacent with the game and needed to do something different. And actually, for a little while, it kind of reinvigorated me. So I like tanking. But, well, yeah, that's Rem's back in the game. So bring on the expansion.
All right.
I'm ready to kill some Alliance and some current reality non-alternate people. All hail Gromish. How do you say his name? Gromash?
Gromash.
Gromish?
Gromash.
Grom.
Gromash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the show for tonight, eh?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Before we talk about the show for tonight, we got to do one more thing.
What?
Yep.
And now, it's time for the Doctor Who Review with Rem.
We've only got 10 more of these, Jules, so don't worry. Doctor Who review for tonight for the episode Into the Dalek. I really liked it.
Cool.
Okay.
And apparently you guys are really liking this review time as well, so there you go. Okay, so we're going to talk about the structure of the show tonight. And normally we would have a discussion topic, and then we would get into the think tank and talk about an advice question. Unfortunately, as I have been preparing the show this week, have not really been getting a lot of advice questions coming in from you guys. And so we'll wag our fingers at you and say, naughty, naughty listeners, for not having any problems for us to give you advice about. But in all honesty, we've gotten a couple of questions, but unfortunately they've been repeats of things that we have talked about in the past. And we try really hard not to do that because it doesn't make it very interesting for people who have been listening to this show for a long time. If we're going to repeat the same question, it's just the same show. So tonight, we are going to hit on a larger discussion topic that may take us a good half an hour to dig into. And then we'll do our normal tell us one thing and some slash moves and some feedback. But we do need to put out the plea to let you guys know that we do need some questions for the think tank to keep everything rolling as it is. We need advice questions, things that you're looking for, things that we haven't already covered in the past. And if you've written us before and you have another completely different topic, that's cool. We'll certainly take it. We've done that before. But we're trying not to repeat all of the same topics that we have talked about in the past. So Questions at torrenthinktank.com is where you send them. If you have discussion topic ideas, send those our way too. So that will help us as well, because this show runs on your stuff.
Yeah, we got into this show so we could talk about the player. You know, that's what makes us different and special. Is, you know, we don't really talk about the game. We don't really talk about developer notes or what Celestalon's doing. Mm-hmm. We talk about you and what you're doing and what's bugging you and, you know, what's going on. So, I mean, we could make stuff up.
Well, and that's kind of where our discussion topic takes us. And so, you know, if we don't have any advice questions, we've got plenty of things in the game to talk about when it comes to the player. But the crux of the show has always been you guys sending us a request for advice, and then we get into that discussion. So we do need them. If you want that to continue, we need them.
That's right. Otherwise, Rem will talk about his air conditioning.
Yeah, exactly. And it might not be very interesting.
It's not, because I don't know anything about air conditioning. I'd be reading from a book. Jules, things are kind of different in my order here. Is this on purpose?
Yeah, so I moved it. I moved that forward so that we would make it, yeah, so that the promo is now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show is brought to you. See, I don't know how to segue to this without. You're gonna tell me these things.
I did. Well, you're just supposed to read the notes.
Because I like taking a thing from a discussion and kind of using that to bring us into it.
Well, you could talk about reading the manual.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, check it out. So I would have to read from the manual on an air conditioning system if I wanted to do a show about air conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not going to do a show about air conditioning. I'm going to do a show about, oh, God, I don't know, Jules. You don't have to read the manual when it comes to your Doghouse System computer. Why? Because they have the best customer service in the business, right? Go to doghousesystems.com. You can look through all the different stuff they got going on. And if you have any questions, they're right there to help you. Right, Jules?
Well, yeah, and the manual thing actually works because you know why? They give you a really excellent manual when you get a doghouse, because if you ever want to restore your system to factory settings, which I did on my previous doghouse, they have an awesome manual that gives you step-by-step with pictures and shows you how to do it. So if you're like me and you're like, how the hell do I do this? Mm-hmm. How do I do this? Then it shows you that. So the manual is like, it's there, and you don't need it. It's there.
Jules, I may not know anything about air conditioning, but I do know who makes a great computer. And that's Doghouse Systems.
I agree.
You go to doghousesystems.com, you select what you want. All right, it's that time. All right, we get to the end of summer. School's starting again. Warlords is coming out. Christmas time's coming up. You're going to need something to perform. So pick out your system, the one you want, whatever it is. When you check out, you enter TTT at checkout. That's 3 T's. And you will get double the memory on your brand new Doghouse system. It's fantastic. I mean, you can't beat it. So, thank you, Doghouse System, for supporting our show. Thank you guys for supporting us and them. And everybody's happy. This is so weird because now I'd be like, no, let's do the think tank. But no, we're going right into our discussion topic. Wait a second.
What?
I blew it. I should go back. Signals Media All-Star Party presents the discussion.
What?
I don't know.
The what?
I don't know anymore.
Okay, you were better with the mouth trumpet.
I like my mouth trumpet.
It's pretty good, and that could be really. Yeah. Poor Kane. Poor Kane just tried to post a link, and he can't because he doesn't have any mod powers. This chat room, I swear. What the hell, Twitch? Anyway, sorry, Twitch. All right, back on track.
We're just having fun tonight.
I know, we're going to have some fun. And this discussion topic will be a lot of fun, too. And I think the chat room will really be able to get into this and enjoy this with us. And I think it will prompt some discussion and some feedback that you guys can send to us later if you are listening on the download. So let's talk a little bit about friendship, how we do that. Let's talk about friendship.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so I was thinking about this recently, about friendship in the terms of how today's world, in the online world and social media and online gaming and all the things that we can do to communicate with each other, how friendship has changed over time since we were kids, since we were young adults, since we are today. There's so much that is different in terms of how friends are made and how friends stay and how they come into your life and how they leave. And so what I thought it would be fun to talk about is what our definitions of friendships are now and the different types of friends that you have in your life. So, Rem, when you think about friendship, how do you define who a friend is in your life?
Well, okay. A friend is somebody that you can trust, first of all. Trust is big. Somebody you can confide in, somebody who you know will be there to listen to you when you need someone to listen to, somebody you will listen to when they need somebody, because it goes both ways. Somebody who gets you. We need people like that in our lives. We need people who get us and we share similar interests and things we can talk about. Somebody you can just hang out with and never need to say a word to.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who they understand.
I want to ask you something related to that. Do you have people in your life, this is such an aside, but do you have people in your life that just can't deal with silence? They have to be talking at all times?
I think I'm one of those people.
Are you? Like, you just don't like the silence and have to have, like, so if you went to dinner or something like that and you couldn't, or went to someplace and watched a show, you couldn't just sit there and be quiet?
I can watch a show. I can do a movie without saying a word. But Fit and I have more fun when we're talking to each other during a movie. Yeah. But like if I'm at dinner and there's nothing being said, I get really uncomfortable. So I kind of need to say something, whatever it is, just to try to get a conversation moving. And a lot of it comes from doing the show with you too. Is like when we get going, we're just going nonstop because nobody wants to listen to this. Yeah, I mean, people look at their radio or their phone or their device and go, "Did it break? Yeah. Did the podcast shut off because there's silence?" Right. So when I'm in a situation that would require or you would have a conversation in and there's nothing happening, I get uncomfortable and I need to make one happen somehow. So sometimes I'll say something stupid, and then the other person will be like, "Why can't you just shut up?" Now, see, this is what drives me crazy about being in a mumble chat room with a number of people, is the constant talking, or that weird feeling of nobody's talking and you've got to fill the space. Because that is, to me, that is the hardest thing to do, unless you're with somebody who you really know very well, you're really close and you just know them. But if you're in a mumble group, let's say there's 5 people in there, or some kind of voice chat system, and nobody's talking, I find that to be so uncomfortable. Because it's like, okay, should I say something? Should I start the conversation? Because I can't see them, and I can't see on that I rely on so much body language that it's just like, oh my gosh, this is hard. Do you have that problem? I remember like raid nights when everybody was quiet. And yeah, it's like I felt like I had to say something. Well, rating's different though because you're focused on something else. Okay, so so what you're saying is just you're hanging out in a mumble channel, but nobody's talking. Right. No, you know what? I don't really find that uncomfortable because I can ignore it because it's a space in my head, right? It's not like I'm looking at a dude being silent. It's just there's nobody talking, so they're not there. Yeah, and the thing that I really like to be in my own space and to be in the quiet mode. And so, like, for instance, when I go and get my nails done twice every 2 weeks or so, twice a month, there's a woman who comes in at the same time that I do, and she cannot deal with it being quiet, and so she has to sit there as we're both removing our previous nails to put on the new ones. She is sitting there just making small talk about the weather or about the drive-in from the traffic. And the last thing in the world I want to do is make small talk with somebody that I don't know. But when it comes to friends, I'm like, and that's how I define friendship, is the people who I can just BS with in those silly little things, and it's not feeling like it's work. That's part of what I define friendship as, is people who just, they get you. Yeah. They're comfortable with it. You're that comfort level is there, and the feeling of having to make small talk is not there. And I hate that feeling of having to make small talk. Hate it. Yeah, small talk is weird. Like when I'm sitting in the barber's chair, I don't want small talk when I'm in the barber's chair, right? Yeah. But sometimes I'll say, "Hey Barry, how's your hip?" Yeah. But I'm actually genuinely curious. But the small talk's a weird thing. I mean, sometimes I appreciate the effort, right? I guess I'm never gonna. I'm never going to feel weird if somebody's trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I feel what makes me kind of weird about it is whether I wanted it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you're kind of put in a situation where you have to talk to people, like, you know, sitting in the barber's chair, or you're standing in line for something to get to something, and then people are chatting. So it's just, it winds up being an uncomfortable situation. It's just uncomfortable to me. But anyway, it kind of went on a tangent. I'm going to get back to the friendship thing. Do you have different levels of friendships in your life? I think most people do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the reason I ask this question is I think about what I see a lot on social media, since we spend a lot of time on social media, both of you and I do, is that people are like, how people easily use the word friend for so many different connotations.
Yes.
And how, you know, so someone will say, oh, Rem, you are my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But you've maybe never had more than a couple of direct tweets back and forth to each other, or you've been a part of a conversation in there. You've never had a private conversation. You've never had anything, you know, outside of just text on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be considered, you're my friend.
My Twitter friend.
You're my Twitter friend. So define Twitter friend.
Twitter friend is somebody you're kind of friendly with on Twitter, I guess.
Friendly.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Somebody who doesn't really annoy you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to subtweet them because they suck. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah, people are using the word friend for all different types of friends. But, you know, nobody says my Twitter friend. They say my friend. But I think, again, getting back to that weird period in our history where we can meet so many people all at once. And then we don't have a word for it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say acquaintance because it takes too long and it sounds so informal, so impersonal.
It does sound really impersonal.
Yeah.
And it's almost a diss to people to say you're an acquaintance of mine.
Yeah, it's an insult. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use the word friend for everything. So our WoW friends, as Lori says, our Twitter friends, our Facebook friends, our
work friends.
Work friends
is a big one.
Yeah.
And I actually have a story to tell about that from recently. So Kane says to me that his workplace is having their annual summer company picnic coming up. Now, I used to work where Kane works. We used to work at the same place together. But I left about 5 years ago. It's been 5 years since I left. And I worked there for about 9 years. And I had a lot of people that I know. A lot of them worked for me. But the last time I went to this company picnic with everybody, nobody knew how to talk to me anymore. Because the thing that we had in common, workplace, had changed. And they didn't really know a lot about what I was doing now. And what I found is that they really didn't care. It was so weird. It was such a weird and uncomfortable thing. And I actually told him this year, you know what? I don't think I'm comfortable going this year. Last year was so uncomfortable and feeling like I was out of place because it was this feeling of you are just someone that I used to know now. And I don't know. That really kind of made me sad. It was like I really enjoyed a lot of these people, but they didn't know how to talk to me now. Because I could ask them about their job and I knew all about it, but they didn't know anything about what I was doing. And a lot of them didn't seem to really care once I started telling them.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, work friends is a tough one because I've seen a lot of people in my work life come and go. And it's just that's a hard one. It's hard to bridge that gap between work friend and actual friend.
I had a really good work friend when I was at my other office. My buddy Oscar.
Yeah.
Right.
Talked to Oscar a couple times.
And he still calls me, you know, either during the day or at night, because you know, all the people he works with are a bunch of jerks. so he calls me and we still chat and we try to, you know, get together, but I haven't seen him since I left in April.
But do you call him?
I send him text messages. I don't call
You do?
him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm terrible at phone calls. I don't like phone calls, to be perfectly honest. I don't like talking on the phone. So if I can get away with just texting, I will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like sometimes he'll call me and I won't take his phone call because I just don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Unless I'll text him, say, what's up. But I don't have that level because he became a really good friend after 7 years at that place. But I moved in April. I changed offices, and like however many months it's been, I'm just starting to get to a level where I can kind of talk to people and not feel like the new guy or not feel weird about it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't remember it taking this long to have somebody to talk to with my old place, but like in this place it's a lot different, and so I don't have like that work friend environment. I have my one guy starting to get there, but I mean it's not like it'll ever be like it was with Oscar. I miss Oscar.
Yeah, and it's hard because you spend 40 plus hours of your week at work.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you see those people more than you see your spouses or your children in a given week.
Yeah.
And so it's a really kind of fascinating thing when you think about it. And then you get the whole side of things when you have your WoW friends. And I know that you've had some issues with your spouse not understanding what it means to have a friend online. People that you talk to and connect with and that kind of thing. And I have found, which is so fascinating though, I have found that the people that I have made connections with through online stuff and the people that I have met in person in relation to the online stuff have been my closest friends. When you meet in person though.
Yeah. Why?
For me, I think it's for me the level of trust is there. When you meet somebody in person and you've really gotten a chance to connect with them because they only see you for how you present them. They see the picture of you online of what you show them. The tone of voice you use, the type of player you are, the type of things that you choose to share with them. In person, they can actually see if your face matches the words that come out of your mouth, because we all take those body language cues, whether or not we actually register them consciously or not. But you can look at someone and say, you know what, online I thought you were pretty cool, but in person I can see that you've been making this stuff up the whole time.
Right.
Or the opposite, I wasn't kind of sure about you when I first met you online, but in person you're really cool. It's so much more of an experience, an overall experience. And when I meet someone in person and when I have the opportunity to talk to them, and we take the time and we meet each other, it's really cool.
There's kind of with the WoW friends and stuff. I want to talk about like a text friend, like Ben from Azeroth Roundtable.
Yeah.
Ben's a really good friend of mine. I've never met him and I've never played WoW with him. One day we exchanged phone numbers and we started texting after doing a show together. And now we text all the time, and he's become a really good friend. And I've never spoken to him on the phone. Our only communication is through text or if we do a show together, and that's it. And it's weird. It's how do you describe that to somebody who doesn't understand it in the first place, right? Like, how would you ever describe that relationship to somebody?
I think what I find interesting about that type of relationship is that you've gotten to know each other. You've gotten to know each other in a way that is beyond the physical nuances, and just you're knowing the person. And you guys have talked through text, you've talked on Skype, you've done face to face, like you've seen each other. And I think that's about the only thing that you can describe it as, is that you've gotten to connect to each other even though you've not gone and had a drink with each other. And we've talked about this in the past, is that I feel like we have the ability to build those levels of friendships, but for people who have never done it, it's so hard to understand it because they feel like they don't have, or they don't feel like the proper tools have been put in place for you to be able to build a proper friendship.
Yeah, if we go back a year and a half ago, when I never really believed that online friends were as real friends. I mean, I've changed my stance on that. You know, I'll say now, I was wrong in my opinion back then. You can have a good friend, a very good friend, online who you never met face to face. It is possible because it's happened.
Yeah.
It's a new world we're in, where things are different, and we have to learn to adjust.
Right.
Not necessarily accept, because it's hard for some people to accept, but at least adjust to it. Accept it eventually.
So, and I find, like my definition of meeting someone in person after having the relationship online is kind of solidified that. I do have some exceptions, but ironically or unironically, if you want to put it that way, one of the people that I've known the longest in World of Warcraft, who is Nox, we've known him in a bunch of different names in the chat room. He comes up under Alpha Jew or Kalani, and he is actually going to be coming up to this area next weekend. For the first time in 8 years, I will actually get a chance to meet him. Now, I was going to meet him at BlizzCon anyway. It would be the first time I've ever met him. But at BlizzCon, we have known each other for over 8 years and have been friends for that long. Things have changed in our lives, and we've changed. He's changed guilds and servers and stopped playing, and we've just kept in touch over the years. But it's just this thing about having a friend and someone that you've known. He was in college when I met him, and now he's 8 years later. It's just crazy. But I love the fact, for someone like a gamer, that we have the opportunity to connect with people who have those similar interests and don't happen to live in our city or our state, that we can actually find them.
Yeah.
Through this.
Yeah, I'm starting to think now, because I'm looking at what you wrote here, and you say, how have friendships changed since you have gotten older? And
I really want to know your thoughts on this one.
I don't know if it's since I've gotten, okay, well, yeah, it is since I've gotten older, because times have changed, and it's going to be different for my son. I remember back being in elementary school, all right? The last day of school, you said goodbye to all your friends, and you spent the rest of the summer in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
If there were no kids in your neighborhood, you spent the summer alone. Nobody called each other. There wasn't the internet. So I remember spending several summers on my couch watching television because there was nobody in the neighborhood I lived in, and my parents worked, and so it's not like I just get up and go to their house or anything, to a friend's house. The rare times I got to go to a friend's house during the summer was so super exciting.
Yeah, because you actually got to go.
And it was this weird feeling of seeing somebody outside of school. It's like, oh my God, we're not in school, but we're hanging out. This is so cool, because all your interactions before then had been during the school year.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as I've gotten older, then you start being able, you get a little more freedom. You can drive. All right, driving changes everything, which is weird because kids don't want to drive anymore. Have you noticed this? Kids don't want their licenses anymore because their mommy and daddy take them everywhere. It's crazy.
I've seen that too.
Oh my God, it's weird.
I haven't yet really gotten to that yet with, I think that we'll see when my stepdaughter gets to that age.
My brother-in-law did not want his license. He could care less. He was 19 before he got it. It's like, what's going on? I couldn't wait to get out the door and go hang with my buddies. But anyways, driving definitely changed it. And then the biggest thing is the way we can communicate now through text messages. It's so much easier to send a text message.
Yes.
You could be anywhere. You could be at the dump unloading your garbage. You get a text message, you can respond to it instead of having to be home waiting by the phone to answer a call.
Yes. And I think text messaging, to be honest, is one of the best things, and sometimes the most annoying things, but one of the best things that you can do to stay in touch with people. And it's an opportunity for people to get into that discussion maybe offline. When you're friends with someone online from Twitter or from Facebook or from gaming, and then you exchange phone numbers and you text. And, that's how it worked for Rem and I.
How many times have we spoken on the phone?
I think the last time I remember talking to you on the phone was when I called you from Nerdtacular 2012.
No.
Was it early? Was it later than that?
You called me from BlizzCon, Jules. My God.
Oh, I did call you from BlizzCon. Okay.
You don't even remember.
I was on Skype though.
What? No, you called me on the phone. You were sitting right before the Warlords announcement.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. Okay, I did call you.
So, okay. I can tell you
but
how many times.
I can't even remember.
This is how many times Jules and I have talked on the phone in the 2+ years we've been doing Tauren Think Tank.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times, but we text all the time.
We text nonstop, and before then. So, I mean, and this is how far apart our phone calls were. I think somewhere around episode 6, and then again for Nerdtacular.
I know I called you Nerdtacular.
Yeah, and then not again until BlizzCon. Nerdtacular 2012 to BlizzCon 2013.
I didn't call you from Vegas that one time. I think you texted me that one.
No, I texted you at 4:30 in the morning.
At 4:30 in the morning Pacific time. Yes.
Yeah.
I was just ready to kill him.
All right. So this in Sage Time says in the chat room, does it count when you do a show every week? No, we're not talking about doing the show because we get together every week to do a show, and so we're always talking. But we're talking about our forms of communication.
Yeah.
Our only form of communication is text, and text messages. I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy to communicate now, and it's changed everything. Yeah. You can be friends with somebody like Ben is my friend. He's in Arizona. I never see him, but I can text him whenever I want, and when he has a chance to get to it and answer it, he will, and we can have a conversation that way.
Yeah, and I have been lucky enough to meet Ben twice.
Yeah. And you hate him. It's disgusting.
I mean, I really hope that you have the opportunity because it made our friendship that much stronger was be able to meet him in person.
Stop stealing my friends from me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got to travel a little bit more, buddy.
Yeah, I get out of this house one day.
But what I have found that has been really, really cool, and the things that have changed that I've gotten older, is that I really always felt like when I was younger that people had a very hard time getting me. Really getting who I was and being comfortable for who I was, and to find people who had those similar interests was tough. And so when I had the opportunity to start meeting people online and talking to them, when I first started playing City of Heroes, that was the first thing. And then I met people in the guild that I was in, and then and we started talking on message boards and private messages and that kind of thing, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was like 2005. So
it's
a while ago. Man. It's 2005.
What was the year you first logged on to the internet?
First logged on to the internet was 1993.
Yeah, me too.
I was a sophomore in college at the time.
No, I think it was 94 for me.
Yeah, 93 was one of my first time because I learned what it meant. There were all of the IRC chat rooms between the colleges, and so. And honestly, if you want to dig that far back, that actually changed my life as well because, I was in college, I was living away from home. I went to a school in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and my parents were in Jersey, so I was an hour and a half away from home. And so, I had friends, I had roommates, I had people that I hung out with. But then it was like, I met this guy through an IRC chat room who lived in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. And it turned out that we became friends, and we're still Facebook friends. We've been friends for this long, but I wound up meeting him when I moved to Wisconsin, which was so cool. I found him. I found people that I would have never expected to have these connections with, and I did because of the internet in 1993 and all that stuff. But those IRC chat rooms were something else. So
my cousin had. I went to his house one day, and he said, "Hey, check this out," and he had Prodigy. In 1994, he had Prodigy, and I was up all night just chatting in chat rooms. I was 13 years old, and it's like, oh my god, I need to get this. So I went home and I told my mom, we need to get a 14.4K baud modem installed into this computer of ours.
Remember the first 56K modem you got?
Oh my god, the first 56, like holy, because we went from a 14 to a 28 to a 56. Whew, god,
that was like lightning fast.
Oh, I know.
I remember teaching my parents how to hook up a modem from the phone, and they got mad at me because I like locked up the main phone line.
That's a thing that doesn't happen. Remember that? It had the fights families would have because somebody would be online and couldn't use the phone.
Yes, and if the phone rang, it knocked you offline.
Or it just was busy.
Or it was busy.
Someone trying to call you with an emergency, and you were just on homework helper or something all morning. And your mom calls you up. What the hell are you doing? I've been trying to call you. I need something important.
2020 site said, I do not believe you were a sophomore in college in 93. Oh, I was.
She's old.
Actually, no, I was actually a freshman. Sorry. 92, 93. I graduated high school in 1992. So, yeah. I was a sophomore in 93, 94.
Wow, dude.
I know. I'm old. But yeah, it's just... So... Even going way back there into the days when we first started using the internet, it did change how we had friendships. I mean, my roommate wound up meeting this guy online from Iowa who drove from Iowa to Pennsylvania to come meet her. And he turned out to be like the most emo child that I have ever met in my life. And he like sat there and hugged her and cried in her arms. And she kept looking at me like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So yeah, I mean, the internet was that thing that you did, and you found people, and you never knew who you were gonna find. So, but in any case, have there been different types of friendships now in your online world? Like, do you kind of put people in certain categories on, like, you know, say these are my guild friends, these are my social media friends, this is the people that I have on Facebook that I don't talk to? Or do you just kind of look for a friend for, you know, like, do you use the word friendship when it turns out to be someone who you've really connected with?
Yeah. I mean, everybody on my friends list, I don't separate between guild and friends list. I have a friends list, and those are people I call my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have a guild, and those are my guild mates. And if my guild mate ends up in my friends list, it's because they're my friend. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean I don't like them as a guild mate. It's just we haven't made that connection yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, everybody on my friends list is basically the same, except for the people who are in my real life higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would go to the top of the. It's weird ranking friends.
Now, do you take someone like, let's use Ben as an example. Would you consider him someone in your real life?
I would, even though I've never met him, but we text all the time.
Yes.
So he is in my real life because he's on my real phone.
Mm-hmm. He's on my real phone, not my fake phone.
No, not my fake one, the real one. That's right.
You're my real phone.
It's not the one I carry in the city, so that, you know, if I get robbed, I can just give him that. No, I would consider Ben. You know, Ben would move towards the top of that list. You know, I mean, there's Fit, and then there's everybody else. No.
and just to remind people, you've known Fit since school.
Yeah, Fit. Now, and this goes to our different. You know how communication has changed. I met Fit when I was a freshman in high school, and we really became friends when we were sophomores in high school. So we're going on 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
Which it just blows our minds when we think about it, because it's wow. Yeah, we started high school in '94.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. But we, you know, he, like me, doesn't really like talking on the phone, so we didn't have. So we would call each other when we had to, but we never spent, you know, hours talking on the phone together. But when we were able to drive, we started hanging out more. You know, it was one of those things. We didn't see each other during the summer because we couldn't. But then when we got our cars, we were able to hang out and sleep over and go do stuff during the summer. And then Fit went to Alabama. He went off to college, and then he went to Alabama for a few years, and we lost touch. And because, you know, we didn't keep up with email and all that stuff. But one day, this is fine. I don't think I've ever told this story in the show before.
Yeah, it's fine. I want to hear this.
I grew, I think it was in 2010, I grew very nostalgic for my old friends, my high school friends. So I started searching for them. And I found one of them who had moved to San Francisco. And I'm like, hey, have you found, I got to say Fit, I almost said his real name. I said, do you know how I can get in touch with Fit? And he's like, yeah, this is the last email I had for him. So I sent an email out to him, just because I had been doing a lot of searching to find this one guy who was able to find the rest. And I said, hey, I'm in Alabama. I'm like, oh, really? That sucks. I wanted to hang out. Yeah, I was so depressed. I was like, oh, you're in Alabama? Well, I hope things are going well for you. And then we didn't keep up, because he and I aren't very good about keeping up and things like that, you know. And we didn't email. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, in 2011, I got an email from him out of nowhere. It says, hey, Rem, I moved back to Connecticut last week. What?
You're like, yay!
Wow, this is weird. Do you want to hang out and see what's up? And so then we set a date. We went out on a date together.
Beginning of the dating.
Yeah, but then, you know, we were able to exchange phone numbers there, and we could text, and then we had endless communication. So because of the internet and because of how the internet's changed our lives, I was able to find this one dude who found Fit. And Fit and I were able to get in contact and hook up again, and then
and that is the beauty of email and the ability to communicate with people even if they're across the world. Mm-hmm. And so I do think that the internet has changed our lives in many, many, many good ways, and friendships is one of them. Because I would not have the friends that I have today if it wasn't for the internet, which is awesome. But I do think that I need to be less protective of myself when it comes to friendships, because I am and I'll admit this 100%, I am very, very difficult to let people in. It takes a lot for me to do that.
Just difficult.
Yeah, because I have been hurt too many times by people who have, wanted to have friendships, and then it's, that just leave you behind, and they don't care, or they don't want to hear what you have to say. And, I'm always the listener. I'm the person that everybody talks to. So when I need someone to listen, it's harder to find that person. And so that's the challenge that I have with building friendships and keeping people and letting people in. And I am really lucky that I've had the opportunity to meet some of these folks in person, and build friendships and be able to exchange numbers. One person that I really, really enjoy having a friendship with is Mark Honan. Because if he knows that there's something not so good going on that day, if I have a kind of a cruddy day or something like that I mentioned online, I will always get a cute cat picture and some messages to say, I hope you're doing better.
Stealing more of my friends.
Not steal. You can share.
No.
You know what they talk about in preschool, that
I'm
whole
not.
thing about sharing?
I don't share.
Well, you're a jerk.
Very selfish.
And, and there are so many people, Andy Hannon, Pat Crane, you, there are people who I just really appreciate having in my life. And what's hard for me sometimes is just kind of getting over that hump to say, yeah, I have my phone number and you can text me.
I'm very free with my phone number for some reason. I don't know why. I just give my phone number to anybody. Which, I'm not at the Hulhauser level where I give it out over the internet. But,
it's become a whole category. It's the Hulhauser level.
Yeah. But it's like everybody in the raid team got my phone number like right away as soon as they joined. Like before I even knew who Resto was, he had my phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Chief Olgin wants to know your phone number.
Yeah, we'll hook it up as long as you text me in Vol'jin voice.
You always have to text him in Vol'jin.
Yeah, I think I'd get annoyed with that.
Is there any other things that you've thought of this conversation? I know I put in some notes, but I think we kind of covered those.
No.
No.
No,
Go ahead.
I think we went through it. I'm starting to lose my voice. So
yeah, your poor throat is hurting from last night. So, which is fine. So, if you guys have some thoughts about friendships and the different levels of friendships that have occurred in your gaming experience, stories of friendship, of course, always welcome. And you can always toss them over on Because of WoW. I don't mention very often anymore, but you can always go to becauseofwow.com and toss up some information about those types of things. That site's still going, and we're going to kick it up a notch when we get to BlizzCon. So it's good to share all your pictures of BlizzCon.
Kick it into high gear.
So yeah, it's becauseofwow.com, by the way. Yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunities that the internet and online has afforded. I mean, we were able to go to Vegas last year for Kane's 40th birthday, and every single person except for one of them was an online friend, someone we met online, which is pretty amazing. So anyway, so if you guys have any discussion topics you want to add to this discussion, it's questions@taurenThinkTank.com.
All right, let's do some Tell Us One Thing.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Get us started, Julesy.
Let's do it. From Will Styler. Tell us one thing more. Tell us one thing. More Robin Williams tributes were data mined this week. Which of his characters do you choose to hang with for a day? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about what they found?
There was the genie and then like an egg or something.
There's an egg, and then there's also like a Mrs. Doubtfire style one. So there should be 3 of them.
So what, an orc dressed up as a woman?
I don't know. I think it was a guy dressed up as a woman, but I'm not sure. So it'd be the genie or the Mork egg or the Mrs. Doubtfire tribute.
I would hang out with the genie because wishes.
Yeah. I just love the fact that the genie has the whole little itty bitty living space thing with it, with his little emote. That's so cute.
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, it's great cosmic, tremendous cosmic power, itty bitty living space.
Oh.
So that's what they said the emotes are.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah. Have you not seen Aladdin?
So long ago, I don't remember. The most recent interaction I've had with Aladdin is Aladdin Disney on Ice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no.
Yeah. So yeah, I would hang out with the genie. More wishes.
Me too. I think so too. Genie was my favorite out of all of them.
From TJ Spanks, if there was only one thing you could do or see at BlizzCon, what would it be?
Well, for me, okay, so being at BlizzCon, there's like two levels of it. There's the daytime, whereas everybody's in the convention center and they're doing their thing. And then there's the nighttime thing, which, is all stuff outside of there at the Hilton and people getting together and different parties and that kind of stuff. Getting drunk. So if you're talking about at the actual convention, like I've paid $200 for the ticket to go, and I could only see one thing, I'd be pretty pissed, number one. And number two, it would be the opening ceremony, because that thing was absolutely insane. The energy in that room, I can't describe how cool that was. And everything else was awesome, but it doesn't compare to what you're waiting for them to announce of what's coming in the next year. Mm-hmm. That's the cool part.
If they announce what's coming in the next year.
Well, they have to say something.
Something.
They have to. I mean, why would they have a BlizzCon if they didn't have something to announce?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
One thing I could do or see. I would like to see all the Triple T listeners who are at BlizzCon.
Aww.
That's it. I could care less about anything else. It comes and goes.
I know.
But fans are forever, man.
Fans are forever. But there's something really, really cool about being around all that stuff in one place. It's really cool.
I feel like I'd just get annoyed.
No, I don't think so.
No, I mean, all the self-congratulatory stuff drives me crazy. Even
what do you mean?
Myself. I mean, like, hey, we're Blizzard, man. Look at all the cool stuff we got coming out for you. Horde, Alliance, rah, blah, 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 Boys Trip, Savage, rah, rah. All that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I didn't expect from you.
You're
kind of a fan of their stuff. That's why they're there. That's why you're there. If you're a BlizzCon, you're a fan of their stuff.
I guess that's why I don't go to BlizzCon.
I guess not. Well, now we know why you're not going to BlizzCon, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
I'm just jealous.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Now
I want to be a rock star.
You want to be a rock star?
Yeah.
All right. So from Al the Mage, he made this clean. Cuddle, marry, kill with Garrosh, Arthas, the Lich King version, and Illidan. Who do you choose for what?
Oh boy, that's tough. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kill Illidan.
Uh-huh.
He's got horns and wings, and there's way too much it's too much going on. I'm gonna cuddle with Arthas because he needs a hug. And I'm gonna marry Garrosh because he knows how to survive. He'll take care of me.
All right.
He'll take good care of me.
All right. So mine is gonna be I would cuddle with Arthas because I do agree he needs a hug. He's got some daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
I would marry Illidan because, you know what? He's got to talk to me in that voice for every single day of my life. And I would kill Garrosh because he just needs a good whooping.
I feel like people don't appreciate Garrosh and what a good bad guy he is.
Well, he's an awesome bad guy. But an awesome bad guy is somebody you want to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time. Mm. Except for Loki. Like, why? No,
I love Loki.
Nobody wants Loki to die.
Loki's awesome. Tom Hiddleston's beautiful.
He is amazing.
Yes.
I know. Okay, so wait a minute. Is there another one that you can think of where you're like, like the Winter Soldier, you don't want him to die?
I don't know. Captain America. I'm in love with Captain America.
Yeah, but he's not a villain. We're talking about villains.
You're talking about villains?
Yeah.
Well, Winter Soldier isn't really a villain.
he's bad.
He just has no memory of what he's doing. That's good
He's
bad guys. I
amazing.
love good bad guys. And of course, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Are we talking superhero bad guys?
Or anybody. So like Joffrey. You'd want to kill Joffrey. Right?
I thought
Game of
Joffrey
Thrones?
I thought he was great.
You wouldn't want to kill him?
Well, I mean, I guess you have to. You have to
Like
kill
when
him.
I watched this and I knew what was going to happen, and I still hope that it would be any time that he would die. So it's like, is there any time soon that this kid is going to die?
I grew up watching wrestling, okay? And I watched a lot of wrestling with my dad, and I loved the bad guys, especially the really bad guys who everybody just hated so much. Like when The Rock became a bad guy, and this is before he got popular, and people couldn't stand The Rock, and he stood there and he's talking to the third person and just talking down to everybody. It was amazing the way he could turn everybody around and make them hate him so much. I love that. So, I mean, like Tywin Lannister, if we're talking Game of Thrones, perfect bad guy. He's such a good bad guy.
Oh, he's amazing. He's like the most twisted. But Garrosh is just one of those. It's just like you're not going to be able to fix this guy. He's pretty much one note.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's a one note bad guy.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's a bad guy. He has a mission that's to take care of the orcs, and he will do anything he can to take care of those orcs.
Yeah.
And in his mind, it's honorable. I had a bad guy from a movie in my Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah.
An amazing bad guy.
Yeah,
he just didn't give a shit. He didn't give a crap about anything. Yeah. He just wanted to mess with Batman, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love bad guys.
You're the bad guy fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's where I get my personality from.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Tullaruk. Straight rum or straight bourbon?
Between the two, I'd probably pick straight rum.
Bourbon.
Bourbon?
Bourbon.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. Bourbon is not the thing for me.
Liquor fueled is nothing if not educational.
Mm-hmm.
What we learned last night is you don't do a shot of straight 151 rum.
Yeah. You learned this the very hard way.
That's right. It's probably the reason for my sore throat.
It's probably true. Poor Rem.
Yeah.
But you kind of brought it on yourself, so not so much poor
It's entirely my fault.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From Doc Oz 78, if you had a choice of playing Diablo 3, WoW, or Hearthstone forever, which one do you choose?
I was going to ask you this. I was going to say this is easy, but you might. No, I don't think you. I think you're going to have the same answer as me. I would play WoW forever because it's always changing.
I would have to say WoW, because if I were to play it, if it's the only game I could play out of all of them for the rest of the time, at least there would be the ability. Diablo 3 would be a close second, but there's only so much you can do for building up your character to run rifts and that kind of stuff. But then there's the raiding, and you start all over again and you build it up. So I think WoW would be more of a choice for me rather than D3.
That's right. WoW is ever evolving, always changing. I mean, obvious. It'd be crazy to play Hearthstone forever.
No, my problem with Hearthstone right now is what it happens with every deck game, card game like that, is really just a certain number of decks that are viable for everybody to play, and that's what everybody's playing. And so whoever you play with has that. It's either a Zulok deck or a mage deck, or it's got the certain ones that they play, and that's it. So Miracle Rogue, all that stuff, and if you don't play that, it's just not fun.
No.
So yeah, that's why I don't like those kinds of games that much anymore.
From the War Chief, Vol'jin, who is your favorite sidekick from any comic series, ma?
Okay. When I put this question in the notes and I had to really think about it, and the first thing that popped into my head was Tom and Jerry.
Who's the sidekick?
And I would say, that's exactly what I said. I said, well, who's the sidekick? And I honestly think that it's Tom, the cat, is the sidekick to Jerry the mouse.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think Jerry the mouse is always kind of like the dominant power holder.
Yeah.
And Tom is just his plaything.
Okay.
So I would say, I love Tom and Jerry. It's one of my favorite cartoon series ever. So I'm going to say And, it wasn't really a comic series, but it was a cartoon series. So there you go. That's my answer.
Launchpad.
Launchpad?
Launchpad from DuckTales and Darkwing Duck.
Oh, gosh. I never watched DuckTales. I never saw it, so I don't know who these characters are.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rev is like, okay, remember the whole thing about love what you love and don't hate on people who don't know your stuff?
I'm hating on you right now.
Do not hate on me.
How dare you?
You're not allowed.
How dare you? At least pretend.
I can't pretend if I don't know anything. I've never seen it.
Let's just move on. My gosh. Do mood changers.
Sure. Mood changers. Much anger. Favorite, Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon?
I don't know either of them. Which one had the robot?
I don't know.
You didn't know this one.
Neither of us know who these people are. Wow, I'm like, shoot.
I'm gonna say Buck Rogers because I at least remember watching a Buck Rogers show, and then Bugs Bunny did not the Bugs Bunny.
Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers. Daffy Duck did Duck Dodgers.
Yeah,
so I'll do
Duck
Buck Rogers.
Dodgers at the 21st of the century.
I'm pretty sure Buck Rogers had that weird robot thing.
I don't remember.
I know.
Okay, they're saying Buck Rogers had the robot. So.
Okay, yeah. So I know I've never seen a Flash Gordon episode.
And people, do not be upset with us because we haven't seen this stuff. Not everybody can see everything in life and still be called a nerd. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not be called a nerd. So there.
Fine, don't be. From Zandara, what are your cat's favorite toys because internet, and what is your favorite in-game toy because Warcraft?
My stupid cat doesn't play with any of the toys we get him.
You really?
He could care less.
Really, he couldn't care less, but that's okay.
You did that too on Twitter.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
I didn't point it out to you because I didn't want to be a jerk.
Where?
You were wrong.
You show me. I did not do that.
Ago. Yep. But I could not care less.
So he doesn't play with milk rings or nothing?
No, like he's weird. He's a weird cat. He doesn't really he plays with a dog. I think the dog's his favorite toy.
The dog is
like he'll just sneak up on a dog and start slapping the crap out of his face. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the favorite toy that we have, Garrus is the one that plays with the toys the most because he's the most energetic of he's probably like in age, he's probably the same age as Spike, we're pretty sure, which is about 2.5, closer to 3 now. But he's the more energetic of all the cats. And so we have these two things. It's one of them, and he loves toys that have a stick with something on it. So something dangling off the stick. One of them is this plastic stick that it used to have like this feather toy on the end. He's ripped all the feathers off. And so now there's this little nub on the end that has just a little bit of feather thing sticking out. And he loves it. He pulls it through the house and drags it, and then he drops it at my feet. And he chirps at me to play with him. And so... and so yeah, that we do that. And then there's another one that it's like this leopard pattern piece of cloth with feathers on the end. It's real soft and fuzzy. It's like a velour. And he picks that up and he drags it through the house. So you hear the plastic dragging on the ground on the hardwood floor as he walks through the house, and he carries his head up really high when he walks, and so he looks like he's strutting across the floor. Mm-hmm. We've tried the Da Bird toy that Lori mentioned in the chat room. It's called Da Bird.
The bird.
And it's one of those things that has one of those fishing spinners on it. It's like a lure. And so it spins as you pull through the air. He pulls all the feathers off of everything. So he leaves just the nub. And again, there's just the fishing spinner on that thing, and he still pulls that through the house. Mm. So those are my cat's favorite toys. In-game toy, yours?
I can't remember.
Like a heavy leather ball or a like the riding like.
I never really. I might have a toy, but I never use them.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, I remember I got on like the riding tiger.
Oh, the riding tiger's my favorite.
And I got stuck on it. I didn't know how to get off. So like I don't use toys anymore.
I have the spectral tiger, the little rider.
Yeah.
I have that on Juliana, and so on a special night I may pull one out because I only get 40 cooldowns of that thing. So I don't want to lose it. So.
From Memeth, You have 1 week to spend with someone from a past, present, or fictional universe. Who do you spend it with, and what do you talk about, or what do you do with them?
1 week to spend with someone from the past, present, or fictional universe. Oy. I think for me, honestly, and this is not just kind of pandering to the whole thing, is I probably would have chosen Robin Williams when he was here. And spend a week with him and see what his life is like, both in performance and also in private. To watch him at work in private would have been amazing. So I would totally have picked him.
The only name popping in my head is totally inappropriate for this show.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I spend a week with somebody. God, you get sick of them real quick. Like, I'd like to hang out with Adam Carolla. So I'm going to say Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla would be a cool person to hang out with.
Yeah.
To see how he creates things and you know, the thought process behind it would be really cool.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Have you ever listened to the show?
Yeah.
It kind of just goes.
Yeah, but he got there for a reason.
Yeah, no, I'd like to write bits and stuff. And do that. Yeah.
That would be cool.
So that's what I'm going to say. That's my answer.
And you get to read the last one from Chief Bolgen that he sent in the last the mess.
Tell us another thing. Since when has it become acceptable, a society, I can't do it for this long, for person B to kick things around that person A is working with, never use the word sorry, and only when confronted does person B say, I was just playing with you?
Okay, so since when has it become acceptable in our society for person B to kick things around that person A is working with, never use the word sorry, and then only when confronted does person B say, I was just playing with you?
When we started raising children the way we talked about last week.
Well, there's some truth in that, but I honestly think it's never become acceptable in society for most people, because if you're person A, you're never going to accept that. If you're it's someone coming in and just knocking down the card tree you were building or something, the card house you were building, and then being like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, I was just playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Or not
sorry.
even use the word sorry. Yeah. It's about respect. It's about respect for other people and lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that goes around, and it's not just this day and age. It's been going on forever. I mean, it happens when you're kids, and it does. For those that don't know how to accept personal responsibility, it goes on to adulthood.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. And person B is a jerk. I mean, that whole thing, I was just playing with you. Why are you so upset? Why are you so, you can't mess with somebody and not expect them to get upset, right? So if you go in with the mindset they shouldn't be upset, then you have a weird personality trait going on. And I don't know how to explain it. I'm losing my words, but there's something weird going on in your brain where you think people shouldn't be upset with you. It's very narcissistic type of deal where.
Well, and it's bullying behavior if you mess around with something that someone else is working with.
Yeah. And
you don't take responsibility for it, or you tell them you're just playing with you. I mean, it's kind of bullying behavior, because it turns that into something different. It's if you don't give a crap about somebody, then you don't mess with their stuff.
Right.
If nobody cares about it, then that's one thing. But if someone takes the time to actually sabotage, then there's something really bad going on with the person who's doing the sabotaging.
Mm-hmm.
That's the basis behind it. It's never been acceptable. But I don't think, and I think it becomes a little bit more prominent because we have things like social media. There's the bad side, but what? Okay.
Bad side of social media. All right. Thank you guys for your Tell Us One Thing questions. They are fun. They are awesome. We love them. Check it out. Tell Us One Thing Thursday on Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. Pay attention. But if you think of one during the week, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank, or of course, questions at TaurenThinkTank.com. We've got some feedback.
We do.
Feedback.
Do you want me to read these all since your throat's sore?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the first one is relation to the differences in culture between the U.S. and different countries. Hi, guys. I'm writing in response to your question about the cultural differences between Europe and the US. I am French and moved to the US when I was 24. I've been living in the USA for more than 14 years now. I have a few stories regarding the work culture. Here is one about work and lunch that I think you'll find interesting. One of the things that struck me early on in the US is that lunch is perceived as an inconvenience, a time during which people must stop working to feed their bodies so they can go right back to work. It's usually a 30-minute interruption seen as a loss in productivity. In France, lunch is perceived as a needed break during the day to socialize and speak with friends or coworkers around a good meal. We do not eat on the run. Lunch is seen as a time to get a mental break from the job in order to come back replenished and refreshed. It's usually a 1-hour break. What this says to me is that the U.S. is a land in which being productive is seen as packing up the hours. At times, it does not matter how much you accomplish. If you tell people you've worked 50 or 60 hours a week, what will be understood is that you've produced a lot and that you are a dedicated worker. In France, working 50 to 60 hours might be equated to an ungrateful job where the employers do not value their employees. These are, of course, general comments that will not apply to every work environment, but they do highlight some differences that I think are essential. From Sokatep.
I'm glad we got feedback from across the pond to highlight how different the differences between our two cultures.
Yeah.
Our culture and whatever it is, there's a lot over there. And it's amazing when just like this email, how different it is when it comes to lunch.
One of the things that I thought of as I was reading this too is the things that I've heard and experienced being in Europe when it comes to meals, especially dinner. Where here in America, we have so many restaurants and we have so many things, places that want to turn the business quickly that, a dinner is usually, it lasts, an hour, 2 hours at the most if you're going to a fancy place. And the goal is to turn the tables so that the business can make some more money for the restaurant. In France, a dinner can be at a minimum 3 hours and probably longer because it's about enjoying the experience with people, with the food, enjoying the food and the whole part of the whole experience. And I have, for my company that I work for, it's the main office is in Montreal and the people who own it are French. And they've moved to French Canada area, Montreal.
French Canada.
Yeah. So whenever we've gone out to dinner with them, dinners are at least 3 hours, which for us is almost just like, can we be done yet? Because we're trying to move on to something else.
Right.
But it's just the experience of dining and talking and drinking wine and it's all about that. It's all about that with them. And it's a very different cultural experience, which is a cool thing. But in the U.S., we're just like, oh my gosh, this is way too long.
Yeah. I got stuff to do.
Okay.
To be on the internet.
I know. Our final feedback letter is related to the depression topic from several weeks ago. As I said, we had several of these that we're going to kind of work into the show, and here is one of them. Hi, Triple T. I'm a big fan and love listening to the podcast. I felt I had to write in about your episode about depression and Robin Williams' death. I have suffered from depression ever since I was young. Parents' divorce, sexual abuse, and other incidents contributed to the feelings of worthlessness and pain. I used to stand in the pantry and stare at the aspirin, Tylenol, and whatever else was in there and wonder how much it would take to kill me and take me out of my misery. I did feel like a burden to my friends and family, and as I got older, anxiety also became an issue. About 4 years ago, I was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which quickly became debilitating. Earlier this year, my marriage almost ended due to all of these factors. I want to propose a theory. I'm not a physician or have a degree. That's why it's only a theory, and I only have my own experience to go by. I recently started taking large doses of supplemental vitamins and minerals and eating whole foods and as little processed or packaged foods as possible. My husband and I also started juicing fruits and vegetables. After a few weeks on the vitamins, mainly vitamin C, as ascorbic acid, niacin, magnesium, and B complex, I noticed my anxiety was diminished, my energy was coming back, the pain in my muscles was also diminished, and the balance issues I was having due to the fibromyalgia were also diminished. Now, having been on them for over 2 months, my symptoms are almost gone, including the anxiety and the depression. The theory that I propose is that what if part of the problem causing depression, anxiety, is a nutritional issue? What if, due to the way our food is grown and processed and stripped of its vitamins, that we are suffering from a deficit of much-needed vitamins and minerals? I will not preach or get on a soapbox. I've been looking into orthomolecular medicine, basically medicine based on nutrition. And I wanted to say that it couldn't hurt for more people to look into it and talk to their physicians to see if this might be an effective therapy or treatment, even for depression, anxiety, and a host of other problems. I realize this may sound too easy and also controversial, but it can't hurt to look into it, could it? Please let me know your thoughts and the community's thoughts, and I thank you for all that you both do. From Mira, an Earthen Ring.
I'm glad we got this letter. Thank you, Mira. That's awesome. I have said in the past, if you're feeling down, go for a walk. It's not going to cure everything, but you might feel better for a little bit, right? And people are like, Rem, you can't say that. Rem, how do you know what they're, But listen, here's some real life evidence of what I was saying.
Right.
Help yourself feel better to help your mind feel better.
Yes. Yes. And, there's a lot of information out there. Some people in the chat room are talking about some of the documentaries, that's a word, that have been out there that you can find on Netflix and in different sources. And so, go out there and take a look and take a look. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of different approaches, but I will say that I've been looking at the same things that Mira has mentioned. Recently, I've actually been going to, because of the accident that I had back in May, with the whiplash that I got, I have been getting massage, and I've also been getting acupuncture, which are two very interesting things that I've been getting massage for a long time, but acupuncture was new. And so learning a little bit more about different alternative treatments, medicines, has been really interesting to me. And I won't talk about it on the show because it's not the place. But I do think that it's something to consider when you are also looking for some options for treatment for yourself, for those that may not have the ability to talk to people or have insurance for medical or for a therapist. This might be an option to look into.
Yeah. So thank you guys for writing in. Of course, slash moo to you guys.
What was that sound before that?
It was a crowd.
Okay. We had a crowd moo.
Yeah. Let's do some slash moos.
So let's do some slash moos. The first one from Memeth. Slash moo to me from a first to heirloom last Monday, and Hectic, epic pally tank from AIE, who killed heroic Galacrass from 27% to dead.
Wow, I'm guessing that's solo?
Well, I think he probably got a chance to kill it. I don't know, maybe solo. Who knows?
Epic pally tank from AIE who killed heroic Galacrass from 27% to dead.
That's amazing if that's
sounds like a solo.
Yeah, it does sound like a solo. That'd be awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
From Tuhulharuk, slash moo to Chief Vol'jin for his awesome advice.
From Jen Morton01, slash moo to the Liquor Fueled crew for an awesome time last night.
I don't know about awesome.
Yeah, no.
From Peter Trofez, slash moo to Megacode, master of the Iron Star, and to the rest of Orc Busters raid team, who are you going to call?
Orc Busters! Laura Walker Maslow says, slash moo to the Forged family for always being there to put a smile on my face.
From Matt S, slash moo to my friend Patchouli for all his help in getting me my cloak this week.
And finally, from ShieldLove_WoW, slash moo to the Misfit Clan on Thrall US for being a great group of friends to play WoW with.
Word. Thanks, guys, for giving us your slash moves. Those are for the awesome people in your lives. Go ahead, send them in. Questions at TaurenThinkTank.com, at TaurenThinkTank for slash move Saturday. Slash move Saturday.
Oh, really? I didn't.
I love it.
In 2.5 years, we've never come up with that. That's funny.
I just did it now.
Way to go, Rem.
Slash move Saturday.
Yo.
I'm done. That's it. Let's go home. That's the best thing I've done all night tonight. You guys can find us on iTunes, and if you do, go ahead subscribe to us because we're we like to think we're awesome, and you guys tell us that, so it helps us. It helps our ego. So subscribe, leave us a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can find us on Stitcher. If you do find us on Stitcher, you can give us a thumbs up. You can also review us there too on the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, and of course the Xbox Podcast Directory. Jules, what's going on?
So check out I Remembered It Better. Episode came out today. I can't talk either. So yeah, a lot of fun with that. We had some pretty cool conversations about different stuff in the world of nostalgia, like a map of the 50 states to show who is the most nostalgic and where. Apparently the Midwest is like super nostalgic for the 80s. Yeah. So yeah, that's you can check that out. And then another episode, an episode of That TV Show came out on Tuesday, actually Wednesday. We do record that show live. If you're interested in hanging out in the chat room with us, it's Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Central, usually on Zug's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zug, Z-H-U-G. You can check us out there. And I think that's about it for this week so far. I'll let you know if there's more stuff coming. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Well,
you're recovering.
I am recovering. Last night, the liquor fueled crew got back together, and we did scorpion bowls, homemade.
And how did they taste?
They were delicious. We Fit and I drank ours out of a Tupperware bowl.
Oh God.
Jen Morton drank hers out of a salad bowl, and Jules was already drunk, so he didn't need a scorpion bowl.
He just didn't need one. He was already there.
He was already there. Yes. A lot of stuff happened. Listen, it's not safe for work. It's not safe for anybody. It's completely offensive and horrible. You probably don't want to listen to it. I recommend you don't, to be completely honest. But if you want to laugh and you have a good sense of humor and you can kind of go with the flow, check it out. It's stormridecast.libsyn.com. The Liquor Fueled crew is awesome. We've also got some other stuff on there. We got the new Flex Mode. It's been up for a little bit now, and new Realm of Books. And we're looking into doing another Shh, which is our audio track commentary for movies. The next movie will be Ghostbusters. We're looking at maybe Monday, but possibly the next Monday. I got to see what my schedule shows. So, yeah, that is Stormridecast. Stormridecast.libsyn.com. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Please subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you so much for listening. I think we're done.
Actually, I want to toss in one more thing. If you want to check out Azeroth Roundtable that recorded last night, Arcane was their guest. So you can check him out. He did a little discussion about the favorite cities in WoW and all those great things. So yeah, Azeroth Roundtable with Ben and John and Arcane.
We tried to crash their chat room last night.
Yeah, you jerks.
Well, we wanted to see Arcane.
I know, right?
You've never seen him on a podcast. You should have seen him sitting up all straight and proper.
Yeah, well, it's his first podcast appearance. Good Kane.
You need to give him more microphone lessons. Because he was kind of the side of it. He wasn't talking directly into it. And you have a directional mic there.
I do have a directional mic. He'll get used to it.
He needs to put his lips right on top of that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he wasn't doing that. So you should talk to him.
I'll talk to him. No worries.
All right.
Jerk.
I wanted to yell.
All right.
Jules, let's bring it home.
Already. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information and how to get in touch with us. There's also a donate button on the site, so if you like what we do and would like to support our show by sending us a donation, that's a great way to do it.
You guys can like us on Facebook. Please do at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Rem at Remgar, R-E-M-G-H-A-R, and me, Jules, at Jules RPG. You can also chat with us and other members of the Moo Crew on our forums. You can give those boards some love at forums.signalsmedia.com.
Special thanks, as always, to Arcane, the celebrity guest for Azeroth Roundtable. I guess he's a celebrity now. I love Arcane.
You stop.
Oh my God, he was not excited to see me when I jumped into Mumble the other night. He was not excited for me to be there. And I'm like, hey, Kane, and he ignored me for 10 minutes. Then I was like, hey, Kane, how are you? I heard you can be a guest on Friday. And he was like, hey, Reb, how are you? And like,
probably
that was
because you're a jerk to him like all the time.
Well, that's what he gets. Guys, get your triple t-shirts at slashloot.com. 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. Thank you guys for being with us here in our chat room tonight. We're here every Saturday night Saturday night
Saturday.
at 10 o'clock Eastern Time at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. We do love seeing you all here with us. The chat room is awesome. It makes the show so much better for us, and we love you guys so much for coming out. You can also find us on a download, and if you do, I know you're listening to us right now because I can tell the future. Jules,
Rem,
any last words?
we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Send us your questions.
Send us your questions. That's right. And if you don't, we're going to talk about air conditioning.
Okay.
So, for Jules, for Kane, for me, until next time, /moo everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really? Rem is right. Rem is right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a jerk sometimes, Remgar.
I love it. I'm stopping.
I'm stopping. Oh, that was fun. You
Yeah.
silly goose.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Gotta have fun.
You guys were cracking me up in the chat room with all of the things with gate on the end. Every single time I saw it scroll by, I'm like, you guys are hilarious. I love our chat room so much. YOLO moo. YOLO moo. YOLO moo. Play that thing again.
Okay. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Mark Conan, and I'm here today to tell you about a serious medical condition. Every day in social media, we see self-portraits of our friends and loved ones. We all know them as selfies, and these are perfectly normal, provided you're not operating heavy machinery while taking them. But a variation has been circulating, and I'd like to bring them and their consequences to your attention. It is known in the scientific community as facium annatus, or more commonly, duckface. The rise in duckface selfies is due to the #YOLO lifestyle and has serious medical consequences, such as muscle fatigue in the arms and lips, and in rare instances, permanent duckface. That's why we here at the Anti-Duckface and #YOLO Foundation believe that you can adequately show off your self-expression and personal beauty without resorting to pursing your lips. Our mission at the ADF #YOLOF is to combat the rising tide of duckface selfies on the internet through education, communication, and mild torture. With your help, we can bring awareness to the pursed-lipped masses. The ADF #YOLOF is here to help you and your loved ones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go online to www.adf#YOLOF.com or call toll-free at 1-800-NOMO-YOLO. That's 1-800-NOMOYOLO.
Oh my god, I'm counting on it. I love it. So you'll hear me laughing on the track. You'll hear it. So, but I didn't want to laugh over it and distract people.
Mark Conan texted me and said, cut that laughter and send it to me.
It's there. I mean, I muted I was holding it back until I muted my microphone and then it went because I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want people on the stream to get messed up with me giggling. So, and then miss it because I was giggling over it. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I couldn't hold on. I was crying. I'm like shaking and crying. It was awesome. Usually you warn me that there's something.
I do?
And yeah, you tell me that there's going to be Mark Conan sent something.
What did you think when I was telling you that we don't usually get serious on the show when I did that? What was going through your head?
Well, I figured that you'd be playing something music or something, you know. I thought there was music. I had no idea there was a bit. which is awesome. Marconin has the perfect voice for that. And then those ads, I laugh at those ads all the time where it's like, a woman walking, she's just walking through a sunflower field and she's holding onto the sunflowers and the sun is flying in there. And then they're saying, and if you take blah, blah, blah medication, you may experience headaches. You may feel dizzy. Mm-hmm. You may have sudden death. It's like, and the person's going, da da da, hi, pretty sunflower.
Are you high?
No.
It's weird. Like, la, da,
but
da.
those ads are like that. They make people sound like they're high.
Wow.
Are you high? Oh man.
Hey, Marconin.
I need to do a PSA like that.
Marconin, I need two things from you, Marconin. I need a new flex mode intro. You can text me. And I also need an intro to the Doctor Who show that Ben and I are going to do.
Marconin, you need to send that to TJ Spanks and to Noodles. And put it on SoundCloud or something and send it to those two specifically. Because they are going to love it. Mm-hmm. They will absolutely love it. Those two are hilarious. Talk to your doctor. Here's a butterfly. That's awesome. That's so true. Talk to your doctor if you experience excessive sweating, feeling dizzy, barfing out puke in your eye sockets, yakking uncontrollably. Those commercials make me laugh every time. It's so
I
funny.
like how those commercials, like you're talking about, like they spend, like the first, let's say it's a 30-second commercial. The first 10 seconds, Cialis, get your life back on track. Cialis may cause cancer. Cialis may give you a heart attack. If you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, please call your doctor. Cialis, I mean, they go on for the next 20 seconds giving you all the side effects. So 10 seconds of what it might do for you and 20 seconds of what it possibly can do.
Well, and here's the funny part is that I think, I want to say it was probably a couple weeks ago, I picked up my stepdaughter from her summer camp at Taekwondo and we were driving home. And I don't remember what brought it up, but I think there was a conversation on one of the podcasts I was listening to about medications. And she's like, I don't know why anybody would take medications. Everything means that you're going to have some kind of side effects and die. And I'm thinking, yeah, because you've grown up seeing these commercials and seeing the thing about, take this medication for your depression, but it may make you feel dizzy. It may make you want to, it may cause thoughts of suicide. And it's all of this like really scary stuff. Yeah, no. and Lori talking about Cialis making a friend of mine going batshit crazy. Cialis may make your friends go batshit crazy. Anal leakage. Oh, I love you guys.
Cialis fueled with Huelhauser.
May cause excessive smiling, laughter that people cannot stand. Yes. You might laugh at inappropriate times in a movie theater if you take Cialis.
Yeah, that was good. He texted me like, you got mail, so I downloaded it while I was on lunch.
I love it.
I listened to it, I'm like, oh, dude, you rocked it. He's like, I hope Jules likes it. I'm like, oh, dude, she's gonna love it.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
She's gonna love it. Yeah, I think I'm done, Jules.
Okay, let's go let your voice rest. We managed to do a very full show with no just like.
Yeah, we went an hour and a half.
Huh?
No problem, man. We could do this every week. F it, why not?
Well, we make it work.
Yeah.
We make it work. It's still
you know why? Because we're good.
We try.
We're good.
We love our chat room. We love our fans.
F yeah.
So yeah, we will do a show when we have the ability to do a show.
We will do a show when we have the ability to do a show.
See, singing like that probably doesn't help your throat.
It actually doesn't bother me very much.
Okay. Say goodnight, Rem.
Good night, Rem.
You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. And a big /moo to you.
/moo, guys. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next week. Bye. If we don't, I'll do it by myself.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Okay, bye.